Happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having an amazing Sunday. It is time for another garden roundup. And a chicken who is apparently very angry about the world. But you know what? It is almost time for blackberries. And I wanted to start with this. We had some blackberry bushes that we've kind of let do their thing. And so we have loads of blackberries that are coming on to the bushes behind me. Most of them are still green and are not doing anything, but it is so exciting at this time of year to see amazing things come out. Apparently my chickens have seen something they should not have seen. So I don't know if they're seeing a bird or if they're seeing a predator or if they're just seeing a border collie. Could have been any of those things. Anyway, yeah, the blackberries are doing really well. It is a wonderful time of year. We're going to get some blackberries soon. A bit of an update on my peas. They are still producing, which is fantastic. I started watering my peas this week. There is River. Yes, that is you. We started producing peas again this week because I was watering the peas, so they are really happy. Both dogs love peas. They are known to help themselves to peas. And my beans, my fava beans, my broad beans have started growing really happily now that we took care of the aphid, greenfly, blackfly problem by adding some more natural predators, and that's really helped. Look at these, really healthy. It has been hot again this week. Yesterday was the exception to the rule. Yesterday, as I'm filming this now, was Thursday. It was a really cool day. It didn't have a temperature really much above about 22, 23 degrees Celsius, which honestly was a real nice thing because it's been so hot lately. Things have just been unbearable. But because I've been watering the garden, my strawberries and my raspberries are doing really well. I've been helping myself to raspberries in the morning, having a bit of that with my breakfast cereal in the morning. And my hope is by the time you watch this, I will have dug up this fallow patch and prepared it for some winter vegetables. Same with the other fallow patch, which is just there as Ghost went through. Everything else in the garden is doing okay. I've never grown sweet potatoes before. This is my first year, so this is new to me. I don't know. I need to make sure I figure out when to tell if they're ripe or not. They're not ripe yet. My celery is getting to a point where I'm going to have to harvest it soon, I think. Celery is great for soups and salads, so I'm going to be doing that. I feel like I maybe put these in a bit too late. My broccoli is still doing great. So I cut off a lot of the broccoli that had bolted, and so now we're down to fresh broccoli shoots, which is amazing. And yes, I am Linusing my sandals. Don't care, I've got socks and sandals. Linus is right, it's a very comfortable way to wear shoes. My sprouts are continuing to grow, and I daren't get super excited because, well, in the past, sprouts have never grown in this garden. So this is a really big thing for me. My herbs are great, my cauliflowers are basically done. I don't know if we'll get any more sprouts coming up. If we do, I'll eat them. If not, then what the heck. Same thing over here. These bolted a couple of weeks ago, and well, we'll have to wait and see if we get anything else come up. My chamomile is doing great, and I need to harvest my chamomile and make some fresh tea with it. But also over here, my French beans, look at these. These are yummy. They are great in Sunday dinners. I'm sure we will have a Sunday dinner this weekend because it'll be the first weekend in a while that my wife and I have been home and not running around doing other things. So we've got some French beans here. I think there's probably some more over there. And by the time it rolls around to Sunday morning, when I generally harvest veg for Sunday dinner, there will hopefully be some more because it does take a while. Ghost, what are you eating? He's like, I'm just eating things. I'm just glad to be out in the garden. My partner has been helping family move today, so she's not been around, and that's resulted in bored dogs. Bored dogs are never good. I was talking about the trees last week, and I realised that I didn't show you it's not really my Gravenstein. It belongs to my neighbour. Right at the edge of our plot, we have a Gravenstein tree, which is right here, Gravenstein apple tree, and no fruit this year, none at all. And there were none on my Gravenstein, which is at the other end of the garden, the old Gravenstein. And I'll admit that was probably our fault because we cut it back in order to protect the tree and ensure it has a long life, because a lot of the tree limbs needed to be removed to keep the tree safe. But also our new miniature Gravenstein, I guess, because it's not full size yet, has also not flowered, which is a real pain. I'm going to walk around the garden the long way and show you. Come on, Ghost. Leave the trucks alone. So our compost is going to be ready next season. My wife keeps asking me, when are you going to use the compost? And I think last year's compost is going to be just about ready to use pretty soon. But we use brambles on the outside of our property as a bit of a barrier. And it doesn't look like it right now because I haven't been mowing my lawn because it's been really hot. But we basically, this is not ours. So basically everything from here up is ours. And so there's this massive bramble that just grows in my neighbour's yard, and we just let little bits come through and then we chop them off, make sure they don't seed in the garden. But it means that later in the year we are going to have huge numbers of blackberries. We'll make blackberry jam, blackberry and apple jam, and other cool things. I just lost a dog. He's down in the neighbour's bit there. It's actually, he is still in my garden, just. I haven't brought you down here before, I don't think, but this is a really kind of wild part of the yard. The trees are basically our border. And we've had Italian arum that self-seeded down here and has been an absolute pain in the butt to get rid of. I think I've got rid of all of it down here. There was some up by the shed up there. Across the road from our house, our neighbour has some, and they haven't really looked after it. They haven't dealt with it. Looking after it is the worst thing to do. They haven't got rid of it. It's an invasive species. It spreads really easily. It's very pernicious. And, well, we want to get rid of it, because getting rid of it means that the rest of the garden can do its thing. So, our cherries, again, our cherry trees have not produced any fruit this year. We did have some very early on, and then the weather changed, bad stuff happened. Same for our cherry trees here. Now I know I need to cut around the bottom. Some of you have said we need to do that. That's going to be something for the winter. We'll cut around this, remove the grass and make it better. But my Gravenstein here, this is my newest Gravenstein. This was done about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. It's grown a lot. It's almost doubled in size. Last year we did have some apples on it. This year we've had none. Our neighbours have not had any apples on their Gravensteins, and our other Gravenstein has not produced fruit. But the dwarf tree has. It looks like we're also getting some rust setting in, which is not a good thing. So we've got one apple here, one apple there, and we did have some other apples. But this is a dwarf sort of mixed tree, so multiple different trees have been grafted on. You can see the graft down there. But it does mean that we should have had some apples. We've had two apples, which is bonkers. Talking of trees though, that maple was a volunteer maple a couple of years ago, and it's now growing really, really well. Let's talk about potatoes, because this has been fun. So my potatoes got too dry earlier this year. I've managed to resurrect this pile here. They are still growing really well. We've still got some great potatoes in here. Everything seems happy. And kind of when I have a little feel down here, we get some large potatoes. These potatoes are done now. I need to sift through and make sure there's not any hiding. And this potato and this potato pot have got fresh soil and fresh potatoes in. We're trying to raise a second crop, which, as I think I detailed a while back, may or may not happen. We'll just have to wait and see. But look at the end of my lettuce. So I might put another lettuce or two in to see if I can get some lettuce into the autumn. But these are my parsnips. They are doing just amazingly well. I'm very pleased with how my parsnips are doing. I don't know why that one is poking out. It's a smaller parsnip. That's a baby parsnip, but it looks like it has some more leaves. So I'll see if I can find a place for that to live in a bit. It's sort of died a little bit, but my parsnips are much bigger than that, and they're growing, and hopefully by the end of September, we'll have some really nice parsnips. This one's so fresh. It literally just comes apart, and the smell on this is amazing. So I guess I can't put this one back in the ground now. Never mind. It smells amazing. I'm going to throw it out, and maybe the gophers will find it. I'm assuming that gophers do eat parsnips. Stuff we don't use, we should share with the rest of the world. So some of my big parsnips are doing incredibly well. I'm going to get some big ones out of here. I think next year I'm going to do like 2 of these, because parsnips need more space than I thought, which is never a good thing when you cramp things in that are not supposed to be crammed in. Horseradish is still good. I'm going to be adding some horseradish soon, and I'm going to be harvesting that. Nothing's really happening in the greenhouse though right now, because it's been really kind of quiet in the greenhouse. Sorry, I know I'm walking in the shade, and so the quality of everything here is going to be really bad. But let me show you the final things from the garden. We've kind of done a full circle. I've walked all the way around the house. Let's check in on the chickens, shall we? So, what do we have in here today? We have 3 eggs. This is one from one of my Easter eggs, Easter eggers. That will be my lavender Orpington, and I think I can't remember who else would have laid that. Gertie is still being Gertie, and unfortunately I'm going to actually leave those eggs there because I don't have a free hand to pick them up. Gertie is still being Gertie. She is still very much, no, Gertie is still very much feeling very broody, and I just want to have a look and make sure you're not hiding any more eggs. Can I have a feel? How many eggs have we got under here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, they're still the fake ones. The problem I've got with Gertie is she just doesn't want to break. Most hens will break broody quite easily, but Gertie is absolutely hell-bent on hatching these eggs, even though they're never actually going to hatch because they're ceramic ones. But it means that she's no longer going to try and steal the other hen's eggs. So that is unfortunate. But if she doesn't break soon, I'm going to have to put her in a little clutch on her own, just to kind of convince her that no, being a mummy is not going to happen this time around, because we have too many hens and too many eggs. That is basically it. That is the reason why. Anyway, that is it for the garden update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and don't forget to share it with your friends, and leave your thoughts below or in our free to join Discord chat room. There are links in the video description. And if you really liked today's video, why not leave us a super thanks, because it's easy to do, and everything you do send our way goes towards helping make great content. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel and to our main channel, and give the bell a gentle ding to make sure you're told when our next video goes live. Thanks on behalf of the entire crew go out to everyone who makes this channel possible. That includes everyone who supports us on Patreon and YouTube, as well as those of you who just watch and share. If you are a supporter at the charged up level, you'll see your name right here on my right hand side by the chicken coop. And if you just joined and your name's not there, don't worry, it will pop up very soon. Thanks to our self-driving tier supporters, Chris Maxwell, Pedro Mil Pinheiro, Patrick Boyarsky, Bennett Elder, Brian Newton, Dave Kitchen, Michael Goad, Ricky Leon, Andrew Martin, Guido Drahota, Brophy Wolf, Tazza in the Gong, Gordon C, Stephen O'Donoghue, Carl Hodgson, Anthony Coates, Regine Fellows, Dan Blair, Jim Burness, Chris Acentar, Chris and Michael Johnson, Peter Dillinger and Denny Hyde. And super out of this world thanks to our Starman level supporters, Anonymous Freak, Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, Rory Litwin, Joe Bresney, Reed R, JP Fagerback, Russ, Will Graylin, Matthew Drobnak, Kevin Burrowbridge, John Lyons, Andrew Glenn, Paul Conway, Laura Reynolds, Ellery Hensley and Ian. If you'd like to join that amazing list, it's really easy to do. Just make sure that you follow the link below and sign up with either YouTube or Patreon, or you can support the channel in other ways by heading to our swag store, buying a cool t-shirt like this one, or you can in fact send us Ko-fi. And if you are coming to Fully Charged Live, there will be special swag available there. More details to follow. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy your weekend wherever you are. Tell me about your garden and what you're doing. Oh, and by the way, I moved a tiny house with this truck last weekend, which is pretty impressive. There'll be a video about that sometime soon, I'm pretty sure. Thanks for joining me. Keep evolving.